the recall. That's just an easy one of those games from the earlier stages of this tournament. But once again, Scarf going to be caught out here by the Taka.
Meanwhile,
on the end of the game, and now Glaive finishes off the first blast camp there and makes way in, and those scout traps doing a ton of damage, and it's going to be Corpus falling. Now Cosby Sports going to get collapsed on while taking the gold mine. Oh, but look at this, Celeste getting totally caught out here. Will she be able to survive? It does look like it's somehow, some way, with the help of that Ardent, is going to stay kept alive. And is going to be able to do enough damage here. I think a pretty risky gold mine to be taking at this point. Look at this, 12 tacos also going to go down. So 3 members to go down. Like with Scratch one, just their ability to put in isn't the best, but here goes Gauntlet. Yeah, Gauntlet going down, and Core Collapse going to land on Tacos, who's desperately trying to find some damage here.
Shatter the Vein, a podcast about vainglory.
There we go, welcome back. We are ready and set for the finals, and there we go, everyone is in the party, and yeah, one is starting to ban here, and very excited to see what they are up to, since Ardent Alliance was very strong here across the board, and suggestions could be, from my point, maybe a Vox ban, maybe a Rona ban, depending on maybe even the Glaive, but we will see. Just asking for the bans, or I'm completely wrong, and then Ardent Alliance after that having the right to ban as well. And there is the Vox ban, so nothing which surprises me too much, and Flash X instantly calling out that Jewel ban.
Man, I'm just thinking about it. Like, imagine us doing the draft pick in a year from now, having the doubled amount of heroes.
Oh yeah,
pickable. Maybe not the double amount, but
yeah,
like at least 10 to 12 more.
Yep.
That is so awesome. I'm looking forward for that future of Vainglory. And man, we are just at the beginning.
Just at the beginning, Celeste is getting picked here, one of the newer heroes on the fold, and then Ardent Alliance having the opportunity to pick 2. So let us see what they are up to. Can be, let's see. Oh, that's interesting. Flash X is calling out here Taka and Adagio. I didn't see that coming.
That Taka pick.
I was more for something like Glaive, Catherine, stuff like that. But that's completely the other way where I got them.
Yeah, Cath is now open. Cath and Ardent. It's basically now a free pick for Von. They can totally choose. I mean, they could go for the Scarf and the Ardent. Totally possible. That would be super interesting to see, actually. Not sure if they will end up doing it. And no, it's Glaive and Catherine. So the Catherine is in and the Glaive on top. Man, looking forward for the Glaive plays, especially because yeah, we saw such a strong Glaive plays from both Gamers 2 and the Red Chimera. Last pick, it is Scarf in the best of 5. So we have both rosters filled. Von on Celeste, Catherine and Glaive against Ardent Alliance. C3 on Taka, Adagio and Scarf. The players are loading, everyone is locked in. We are going to send it back to our casters, Tasty Bacon and Valdez, in just a second.
The battle for the Halcyon Fold has
Welcome,
begun.
guys, to game number 1 of the NA Finals of the VGL. It is going to be a gigantic matchup between these two teams. Vaughn, the 20th seed, making it all the way to the finals, which is really unbelievable, going up against the 3rd seed of Ardent Alliance. And it's going to be a fantastic game. I am Valdez. Joined with me is Tasty Bacon. How are you feeling coming into these finals with these picks?
I'm extremely excited for this. I mean, we have the Glaive coming through here. It's been kind of lackluster so far in today's matches in North America, but over in EU, it was extremely strong in the finals, which is where we are now for North America, and already going to have a big 3-on-3 fight here in the jungle, as it is going to be Flash X taking a lot of damage here to start. I'm really surprised by that Flash X pick. Speaking of him, picking Adagio on the first rotation really kind of caught me off guard, but we'll see. They obviously had a plan in mind for it, and we'll just have to see how well they can do with it. Of course, Taka, we've touched on that multiple times as he's been played throughout the tournament, so we'll see if he can get ahead early on, which is what he, of course, needs to do, or if Vaughn are going to be prepared for it and can shut him down.
Yeah, the Adagio pick definitely interests me as well. Picking that over both Catherine and Arden, who are, not banned as well, really speaks towards them wanting to fight early and often with Adagio and Taka as they were going in right now. Give to fire onto that Taka, doing tons of damage here to the Glaive, just moving in and out, weaving away from the stuns and the attacks of Glaive. And here comes the Scarf now. They're collapsing onto Von E, actually, and they are going to get that kill very early on onto Celeste before she can do any damage at all. Now Von C here with no afterburn is going to go down as well. And now only Catherine surviving. And that is going to be 2 kills going towards Ardent Alliance.
Yeah, that was going to be Phoenix having to use the Merciless Pursuit to run away from that. Great job there immediately by Ardent Alliance to collapse onto Von E as soon as they all got there. But now Flash X is going to be in a world of trouble. The core collapse isn't going to hit, but it's not going to matter. That will be a kill. Gift of Fire actually doing a pretty solid amount of damage there, but it is that kill finally answered back in favor of Vaughn. So we will be sitting at 1-2 with a dead even gold score here after the first 3 minutes.
Yeah, and we do see Glaive now picking up 2 light armors, looking to mitigate a lot of this early damage. So looking to take some fights, lots of scout traps bought and placed around the Ardent Alliance side bushes. So they're really looking for that stun from the Catherine on top of the scout trap into a follow-up afterburn to really lock down one person. But we do see, looking at the lane here, Celeste looking to get caught out by the slow from the Goop and the Gift of Fire from Adagio. And now Glaive is coming in, going to have to afterburn out. And not the best trade overall there for Vaughn.
Yeah, great job there by the Scarf. A lot of times it's really tough to get. It's actually going to have to hold that thought as they are going to catch out Catherine and pick up another kill here. But back to Mixi on the Scarf. A lot of times as soon as you get someone caught on that Goop, you're really tempted to go ahead and ignite it. But opted to hold on to that Spitfire and just keep that slow effect. Von E had to walk through the entirety of the Goop to try and get away. But now we have another 2-on-2 skirmish. It's about to become a 3-on-2. I Love Joseph going to get away through the top portion of the jungle. Now it's Flash X. They're going to take a minion on their way out as well. And Ardent Alliance off to a solid start here in the first 5 minutes. A small gold lead, but 3-kill advantage in their favor.
Yeah, we were talking about Mixi in the semifinals as well. He played Celeste, I think, twice, and he dominated. It was not close. I think he's one of the best laners that I've seen from NA for sure. It really does stand out, even amongst his team. Definitely a fantastic player. And even with everything on the line here in game number 1, like, the winner of this is going to Korea. Like, you got to think about that. They're going to be competing in one of the biggest leagues right now, if not the biggest for Vainglory, and, you know, traveling the world at the same time. So much on the line. And this guy is really playing clutch, like, even from the beginning. It feels to me like Ardent Alliance just overall more comfortable looking so far in this first game.
That's for sure. They are coming out swinging, as we could have another fight. You know, you called it with the Adagio pick. It just automatically says that you want to go for early fights. And I mean, even the Taka pick says that too. So once you add both of them, there's no real surprise into what Ardent Alliance was going to be looking to do in this early game. And they're doing it quite well. Unfortunately, none of the kills have gone on to I Love Joseph, but he is still getting a pretty sizable amount of gold, keeping even in farm with the glaive, but having those 3 assists will put him in a slightly better spot. But the game is still very much a close one. A 1,000 gold lead currently for Ardent, and they will be just pushing up the lane and then continuing to try and keep control of this jungle.
Yeah, it's kind of funny, actually, that the gold mine did go over to Vaughn. I think Ardent Alliance is really, with this bit of an advantage they got, I think they really want to take a team fight here and get that gold mine in their favor, maybe once it gets a bunch of money on it. But look at this, actually. Mixi going very aggressive, overly aggressive. He is going to have the rest of his team following up, though, looking for that kill on Celeste, and they will follow up with that kill. But now Flash X going into the brush, standing on top of a scout trap. I Love Joseph is going to get locked down as well. And there's the Afterburn, and that is going to be 3 members of Ardent Alliance going down.
Yeah, finals hype coming through. These two teams are going to be at each other's throats non-stop. And it is a very even matchup as we reach the 7-minute mark. A 400 gold differential now, so already bringing back over half of it for Vaughn. And the great job following up on that aggressive call from Ardent Alliance. Able to pick up a couple of kills for the glaive. And we trying to get a early armor on him, actually, as he does have 2 light armors in the inventory, really wanting to protect himself against that Taka.
Yeah, now just grouping up here in their bush in the lane, looking for another gank onto this Celeste that would really open up the door for taking a big team fight, you know, take down one person, especially that Celeste, who's generally pretty weak against this many slows, and of course Talk on the enemy team. But Celeste just going back, Von E just going into the shop to finish his Eve of Harvest and pick up a bunch of defensive items. Okart coming out here, as well as light armor and light shield. So he's beginning to realize, like, hey, I need to stay alive in these fights. I need to have tons of sustain. I need to have a bunch of defensive stats. And he's not going anywhere in these fights anytime soon. Heal coming down onto him and going to land the core collapse onto Adagio very fast. Solar Storm comes out, a lot of damage coming out, but at the same time, Mixi does survive and is going to do more sustained damage, and that will be the fight going here to Ardent Alliance with 2 members alive and the gold mine now going in their favor.
Yeah, the ace coming through is going to heal them back up to full so they can very easily take that gold mine. An immense gold payout of 228 per player, and they're looking very strong here. Aside from that, really that one fight in the lane was a bit of a misstep, but I Love Joseph picking up a kill and a couple more assists to his name, and is really going to try and just control this game from this Taka. Obviously going to be that pesky insect in the back jungle, looking to do that as frequently as possible. does take away a couple of camps this time around before making his way back to the safety of his own jungle. And Ardent Alliance now up to a 2,500 gold lead. But the gold mine are going to be taken right back by Vaughn. They really want to have control of this, even if they aren't going to get the biggest gold payout from it. Only getting 54 gold each, but they really want to have that vision and that help in a potential fight in the middle.
Yeah, it's really all about just gaining control of the center of the map, you know. The gold is even sometimes a afterthought at times, especially in situations like this. But hold that thought. Von E going to get slowed by the Adagio here, but coming back is the help with Catherine. Going in with the Merciless Pursuit will stun down Flash X and stop any hope of killing this very tanky Celeste.
Yeah, they do pick up a turret for their efforts here in the lane, so gonna grow that lead even further. And now continuing to push in even without anybody dead. Now they're gonna come and look for the fight. Taka jumping onto Phoenix, but that is some huge damage coming from Von E. Not quite gonna connect too much with the Solar Storm, but they will pick up one kill. Mixi should be going down here, and they will. And it's only I Love Joseph left alive, but of course the very slippery Taka is gonna be able to run out of there and get to safety, but maybe actually be looking for a little bit here, coming into the lane on Von E, but is going to get stunned by Phoenix and has to run and escape underneath his turret.
Yeah, great idea from I Love Joseph, though. I Love Joseph. Generally, a player like that would just say, hey, you know, my teammates died, I want to go back, whatever, I want to farm their enemy jungle. But he's like, oh, Celeste is really low on energy. If she's alone and she gets greedy farming the lane because she thinks I went back, then I can get a free kill and maybe even follow that up onto Catherine or anyone else who tries to help her. So it was a good idea. Doesn't really work out. I mean, I guess it does save the turret and any damage there. But yeah, we do see Mixi getting jumped on here, but immediately tons of damage going back onto Von C from Mixi, and now Taka's jumping in, trying to get that damage down, but follow-up damage coming out from Celeste onto Taka. Now many members in this team fight very low, trying to get those Heliogenesis onto the Taka, but Mixi, oh, they're going to get the slow with that goop, and here we go, taking out Catherine as well, and will get the ace onto Glaive.
Now Ardent picking up another ace, which does mean they're going to get another turret here, especially as Taka comes back in to help bring this one down. The goop on fire will just destroy that turret in a hurry. And Ardent Alliance is starting to pull away, a 4,000 gold lead now at 12.5 minutes. Just doing so incredibly well here in the finals. Really wanting to earn their spot in the VIPL.
Yeah, overall, so far, from what we've seen out of Ardent Alliance, I mean, they've defeated stronger teams easily, with ease at times, you know. Vaughn was really this kind of dark horse team that came in and defeated team after team. They weren't the strongest teams in the league, but they were very good teams, and we were saying, hey, you know, we weren't expecting this. But I think when it comes down to it here in this finals, we're seeing already the dominance of Ardent Alliance, you know. They haven't won this game just yet, but I can sense it, you know, like that sense of like, oh, these guys, if they did go over to Korea, they could actually compete. You know, they're a very, very strong team.
Yeah, definitely looking solid here thus far, as they are going to be now dancing around this gold mine a bit, looking for an opportunity to get in. A couple of scout traps going to be popped here. Vaughn looking for a fight, as well as there is going to be the engage. A big versus Judgment is going to knock down Von E pretty low, but staying rather healthy on the backside now. Scarf not really getting anything done here. Here comes the ultimate. Going to look for Phoenix. They are going to pick up Phoenix, and now they turn their attention onto Von E and Von C. Will they be able to get the kills? They have one. They have the second, and that is another ace. A very, very close fight, but in the end, it is Ardent Alliance coming out on top.
Yep, that really just comes down to Scarf being more fed at this point, very far ahead of the Celeste and just doing an incredible job in that team fight. I mean, Celeste eventually had run out of energy and wasn't too, effective towards the end of that one, but Scarf just doing tons of damage with the flaming goops over the course of it. He didn't desperately, try to go into a big Dragon's Breath at the start of the fight and get stunned, as we saw out of some other players in different games, but he just waited until the perfect moment when all the other members couldn't stun him when they were far enough away, and he really cleaned that up towards the mid to late stages of that fight.
And now 14-7, Kraken does spawn here at 15 minutes with a 7,000 gold lead in favor of Ardent Alliance. I mean, it's definitely a much closer game than what it looks like. I mean, in that last fight, very, very nicely kited around by Vaughn, but just in the end, too much damage coming out, and Ardent Alliance was able to pick that one up. But a couple things just slightly different, and who knows, Vaughn could end up picking up one of these aces here and turning it back around. But they do have a lot of work to do. Still all 4 turrets standing, or all 3 turrets standing in the lane for Ardent Alliance, as they are going to take this Kraken just before the snipe comes in to try and steal it, but it's a little bit too late. And now the fight, they're not going to have that Solar Storm in this combat, and this will be actually Vaughn doing a ton of damage. Flash X dropping very low. Here comes the Burst of Judgment, though. They aren't able to take down Flash X, somehow able to escape, and Vaughn E is now down as well. Vaughn C is falling, and that is another ace. They did manage to take out Mixi, but that is an ace with Kraken walking into the base. This could be very, very bad for Vaughn here. They will have the Catherine up in 10 seconds, but that's not going to help take out the Kraken, especially because she's still sitting on the Iron Guard contract. Nice job using the Warhorn to speed up the Kraken a bit, but not even having the Stormguard banner is going to mean that Phoenix can't do any damage to this Kraken whatsoever. First turret is down, second turret is going. They're going for the desperation fight. I don't know if they're going to be able to get it. I Love Joseph is half health, but still just dancing around. This second turret is about to fall. Flash X is ignoring the fight and just taking the turret. Kraken's still very close to full. They did get 1 kill here, but the Kraken is still on the crystal. I don't know if they'll have enough to take it out in time. It's going to be very, very close, but it looks like the Kraken, it's still hitting away. Both of them at half health. Just a couple more auto attacks. The Kraken is so close to going down. Will they be able to save it? 1 or 2 more hits. It's going to take 1 more hit. Will it get it? It will. The Kraken destroys the crystal just before it falls, and Ardent Alliance picks up the Game 1 victory.
Oh boy, unbelievable finish there. Really, really nicely done to finish that one off, just barely by Ardent Alliance. Just really nice game sense by Flash X. Taka distracting the rest of them as he slowly chipped away at the turrets and eventually the crystal. So that'll be Game 1 going to Ardent Alliance, and let's see what our friends over in Germany have to say about that one.